Let's consider some important theories about self. And, then at the end of our talk today, let's talk about how those might apply to some of the people that we've met this semester. So, one idea is that of Marty Seligman's, his discussion of learned helplessness. And you're going to see him in a couple of other places this semester. He described putting a dog in a hurdle box. The dog needed to jump the hurdle in order to avoid shock. Pretty straightforward thing to do. Now, and as you can see here, almost all dogs are able to figure that out. However, when he set up the situation so that the dogs could not avoid the shock, later, about 35% were able to, when allowed to jump the hurdle, were able to do so. So let's think about the bigger picture, because it's very easy to get caught up on the dog and what happened here and not see why that's important. Because this does seem to be related to depression and also related to a variety of real world situations. So for example, one of my clients is someone who was raised in a pretty physically and sexually abusive household. And now as an adult, she doesn't really know, she acts like she doesn't know that she can change her world in order or in positive ways. And so rather than avoiding it, sticks with it. Okay. And so what Seligman said is, this isn't just about dogs. This is about people too. People in abusive situations, people in bad relationships, people who may look at their academic performance with a fixed mindset and not believe that things can be any different. Okay, let's think about it in a more positive way. And I hope that this is an idea that I think is one that we can carry with us throughout the semester. Albert Bandura talked about self-efficacy, this belief that we can achieve a goal. And some of you may have read the book, The Little Train That Could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. That train had self-efficacy. And so part of what we want to be thinking about is some of the consequences of this, that people with self-efficacy anticipate success, persist even when it's difficult, and are more likely to experience success. Further, self-efficacy can be learned. And one thing that we can do that can help build the self-efficacy is in terms of mindset. We've been talking this semester about growth and fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is when we're saying, this is the way it is, there's nothing I can do that can change things. You know, I am lazy, I am smart, I'm a good student, I am a bad driver, but that's just the way it is. And if I run into problems, I'm going to have to give up because I can't do anything to change it. On the other hand, what we want people to do is make a growth attribution or have growth mindset, being able to see things as changing as a result of effort. And that's where you see the connection with self-efficacy. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. So Let's think about this from a critical thinking model. Part of what we're trying to do is challenge our claims about why things are the way they are and can they change. And so let's apply those ideas to some of the videos that we've talked about this semester. We've talked about Ben Underwood, who, despite being blind, despite actually having no eyes, was able to ride a bicycle, skate, play foosball. He was able to be successful in a variety of different ways. Amy Purdy, who in much of the same way, as a result of an infection, lost her feet, and yet does not see herself as unable. Nick Vujicic, video about him in this week's videos and PowerPoints. Nick Vujicic was born without arms or legs, and initially in life believed there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to be able to succeed here. And yet, you know, if you watch this, or when you watch this video, you're going to be amazed at the things that he is able to do. I would argue that each of these three people see the world using a growth mindset, believe that they have self-efficacy. They may have experienced learned helplessness at some points. So Nick Vujicic talked about himself as having been suicidal when he was about 8. You know, probably at that point, he was feeling there is nothing I can do. And, you know, so some learned helplessness. But think about how each of them have turned their lives around and are feeling more successful at this point. With Ben Underwood and Amy Purdy, we talked some about their the self-attributions that they make. You might also think about, for the three of them, you know, what kinds of parenting styles might their parents engage in that would help them be successful. And I would argue that it's likely that their parents were authoritative in their approach, that they were self-accepting, or that they accepted their children unconditionally and believed that they could do whatever they wanted, and that they, you know, as parents, rather than just sort of letting their kids run loose, they were communicating and actively involved in their parent or their children's lives. Imagine being the parent of a child who was born with no legs and no arms, and that it might be very easy to have no expectations and just sort of let things go. Generally, poor outcomes associated with that. Again, you know, we might also see parents who are very rigid and controlling of their children, demanding that they perform in certain ways, and who don't, you know, generally children do not respond well to authoritarian parents. Okay, and so that's where I'm going to stop today. We'll meet up again in chapter 7. Take care. Bye-bye.